How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Sean Diddy Combs, so much has happened in the courtroom. I can't say this, right? Diddy's team in a new twist of fate. This is more bad news for him. They are begging the judge to dismiss juror number 7, except as I explained earlier, the judge is looking at Diddy's team as you guys are now leaking information. On top of that, they pretty much played 23 minutes of a Freakoff tape in court. When I tell you that the jury was disgusted, was revolted, but also was just sitting there and like, how much is this gonna go? I don't understand Diddy's defense. This is your defense. She loved it. She enjoyed it. On top of that, the judge is done with Diddy. On top of that, we need to actually say this too. Diddy has a 1 week defense set up. He somehow thinks he is going to exonerate himself in 1 week. Y'all, let's get into this because you cannot make this up. What do y'all want to talk about first? I already told y'all about the way the judge literally accused the defense of violating a court order that they themselves wanted. He says that he is looking into perhaps a full investigation where they take phones, check for evidence, make people testify under jury. He told Mark Agnifilio that if any more leaks, for whatever reason, come out of his camp, he is holding Mark accountable. And he reminded them that it is also a civil and a criminal trial. On top of that, I'm pretty sure it can get people disbarred. Listen, what's up, Angela Pietro? Thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing. Fan for life. Thank you. So what is going on and why is this more bad news, right? Now, first of all, we got to talk about the transcript and what happened with Judge Arun. And the reason Diddy's team thought they were making plays, don't get me wrong, Xavier Donaldson made an impassioned plea that got the judge to kind of reconsider over the weekend, or so they thought. All he did was make the judge make sure, let me dot my I's and cross my T's. As a matter of fact, here's what he said. And last thing, in response to what my adversary said about Mr. Johnson asking us to make a decision on race, I have a rule. This is Xavier Donaldson. I don't generally play the race card unless I have it in my hand. Now, the funny thing is, I don't think he knew what he was saying. I got what he was saying, but I was like, you gotta have, okay, fine, right? He said, unless I have it in my hand. And I'm not saying I'm playing it right now, but the facts are the facts. And I'll go with what the facts are. And all I'm suggesting to the court, and I'll sit down for this type of decision, that we do have alternates that were, we all pick those alternates just like we pick the sitting juror because we select those that we want to preserve. So I do understand that they are equally appropriate for the jury, but to remove one during trial, I think it wouldn't burden us too much just to make sure and bring him out here for however many minutes that the court deems appropriate to ensure we're doing the right thing. Not to ensure we're doing the right thing, but to ensure that at best we can, that the conclusions we draw, Trisha Link, thank you so much for the super chat, that the conclusions we draw are the right ones. This was just Diddy's team and Xavier Donaldson last week leading the charge on why this is a call to justice. Danny W., you said thank you for the good work. Thank you. And Trisha Link, thank you again. Right? Also, tap the screen to like. Oh, really quick. Hold on, guys. Really quick. My merch store is in session. Also, Heal with Nona Black TV said, hi, Tisa, warrior for the people. Oh, thank you. I ordered my merchandise. You rock. You guys, I have all sorts of merchandise, tees, t-shirts, ankle bracelets, whatever you want. I got them. Okay, so listen, why did I read you that? For one, Diddy's lawyers are idiots, right? Again, I get why they thought they had a winning argument. I usually don't play the race card unless I have it in my hand. The fact that he said this out loud to the judge, but don't get me wrong, it worked because Judge Aaron thought long and hard. It wasn't a casual decision. But here's the part that I thought was so crazy, okay? The fact that you just said on Friday, we can't let jurors go. You just told us on Friday, this is a travesty, it can't happen. And now on Tuesday, what is today, June 17th or whatever? Are we in June? Yeah, the days are blurring. June 17th, now they are arguing to get rid of another juror Juror number 7, just like that. They're begging the judge to get rid of juror number 7, and they don't want any questions. They don't want anything. All of a sudden now, for justice to be preserved, juror number 7 needs to get out of there. Tatum said, hi, Tisa, love watching you. Oh, thrive. Keep up your hard work. Love the merch. Oh, you guys, thank you so much thank you so much, okay? So anyway, right? Where are we at? Oh, let's get into what Diddy's people, really good, right? Do you guys know that Diddy's Freakoff tapes were shown in court? Stacy Brown, thank you so much for the membership. But here's the shocking thing. We literally sat through 23 minutes of Freakoff tapes. Now listen, yesterday, I think I reported it. If not, checking out on Nancy Grace, I reported it. That we could hear what was going on the Freakoff tapes. It was faint, but it was there. You could hear murmuring. You could hear Diddy in the background giving orders. You could hear all this mess going on the Freakoff tapes. But it was light, right? Like a volume 1 to 10, it was like set at like volume 1.5. But you could hear it, right? 1.52. However, today, the officer of the court, Anthony, while we were all listening, because we could actually hear it even better today, literally, and which, by the way, the reason we could hear it is because Tinny Garrigos happened to be accidentally holding her headphones right next to the microphone. So it was amplified. So we were all like, wait, what's T literally trying to listen? Anthony, the officer of the court, he's really cool, but he follows the rules like officers should. Walked to the front and was like, wait a second, we can hear what's being played. We can hear it in the galley. That's what we call it, the well, gallery, whatever. And Tinny was like, what? You can hear it? Girl, you're holding it right next to the microphone. Stop playing. And he's like, yes, Your Honor, we can all hear what's being played on those tapes right now. So we all were like, Anthony always following the rules. So that got shut down because Tinny was like, oh, and the judge was like, somebody's holding the headphones by a microphone. Maybe if they move the headphones back, you wouldn't be able to hear. And she's like, oh, sorry, Your Honor. Now, I'm not saying Tinny Garrigos did that on purpose, but I don't know. There's been a lot of leaks, according to the judge, coming from Diddy's team. Anyway, Stacy Brown, thank you for gifting a membership. Y'all make sure you say thank you to Stacy. And Robin Anderson, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Jamal Smith, welcome to the family. And Emily Lemon, welcome to the family. Stacy Brown, thank you so much. And Neats, thank you so much for the super chat. Dot again said, over under 6 months before feds lock up juror number 6. I gotta be honest with you, I don't think, hold on a second. Dee said, great job, Tisa. Going to get that journal, etc. Thank you. And also, Ronetta Ellington said, sending a super chat for that run last week to try to catch Ye. Thank you, Ronetta. I appreciate that. Thank you. Listen, I'm not saying she did it on purpose, but girl, you didn't know you were holding the headphones by a microphone and it was playing straight in and we were all like locked in. There was a lot of combo. We were trying to make it out and Anthony came and shut it down. But let's see the Diddy's team because I find this whole Night and Day very fascinating. Jess, welcome to the family. And 03 UN60 said, thank you. But here's the funny thing that I want to show the juxtaposition and the way that Diddy's team is throwing, I would say spaghetti against the wall, but they are throwing lasagna against the wall and making a mess because, hear me out. Y'all just finished talking about the way a juror should never be dismissed ever, and it's a travesty, and you stand on it. And you literally wrote this letter to the judge. Listen to the letter that they actually wrote to the judge, because I literally was like, they have no shame. And how can we take them seriously? Honestly, how can we honestly take them seriously? They said, Dear Judge Aaron, they just submitted this letter. Hold on. One second. What's today? So Diddy's team is once again trying to get the government to reconsider, the judge to reconsider his decision to get rid of juror number 6. The government just signed an opposition, right? Listen, The government does not oppose further fact-finding regarding juror, they're assuming it's number 7. They said the defense argues that the court, if the court removes juror number 6, then juror number 7 should also be removed. Again, these are the freedom fighters, the ones that said that we can't remove jurors. So you're saying that we get rid of the guy you like. And again, I gotta think, why is Diddy so obsessed with this juror? Why does Diddy want this juror number 6? Why do you want him on the team so much that you are literally saying all this stuff, right? Why do you literally said that we can't remove number 6. You are fighting for your life. What is this affinity you feel for juror number 6? All the alternates have been sitting right next to the jurors watching. Does it really make that much of a difference? And to the point of you're now trying to act like they are a package deal. Well, if you get rid of juror 6, you need to get rid of juror 7. Why? Juror 7, let me be clear. The issue that juror 6 got removed was not, and I repeat, not because of the residents, okay? It was because of lack of candor. The judge was very clear about this. It was lack of candor. Whatever happened with juror number 7, it looks like that they were fully candid with this. So this is the government, what they said. While the government disagrees with linking the issues involving juror number 6 with those involving juror number 7, the government's review of the transcript and the court's instructions to the jury suggests that further fact-finding may be appropriate. Why? Because it is being alleged that juror number 7 got a message from someone saying, are you on the jury? And they immediately were candid and they brought it to the court. So there's no wrongdoing. It's no lack of candor. You cannot help if people message you. You can't control that. But now Diddy's team is saying, nope. We want him out of here too. It's really, really weird when you think about it. Hold on, you guys. Monica Elizabeth, thank you so much for the super chat. We also have, let me just give my commercial break. Lauren Knowles said, thank you for the tea. You're welcome, mama. And also we have Drum Woman Medicine. Welcome to the newest member, being the newest member of the Tattletale family, right? Also, the government is clapping back on Diddy's team saying, you gotta stop these baseless attacks. They said the government must respond briefly to Diddy's team reiterated attacks on the motives of the government's motion regarding juror number 6, which the court has already rightly rejected for the artifice it is. There's a difference between creating a record to maintain a party's objections and devolving into an ad hominem attacks on one's opponent. The second half of the defense's letter, which I'm going to read in a second, in contravention of the court's individual rules, unfortunately falls in the latter category. The government will not dignify yet another collection of baseless attacks, all of which have zero connection to the juror issues pending. Oh, thank you so much. Hold on really quick. Renee said, thank you for everything you do, T. So watching from PA. Shout out to PA and Renee. And Carlito is Lit TV says, I've been on the trail. Having a black juror removed is critical when you're black. Carlito, I get that, but there's other black jurors. There's a lot of black jurors. This is one of the most diverse juries I've ever seen in court. He is not the only black juror. I could see making that argument if he was the only black juror. He's not the only black juror. There's plenty of black jurors. Plenty. So it's weird that you're focusing on this guy. And he's not even the only black male juror. So, like, what are we really doing? You see what I'm saying? Anyway. They said the government will not dignify yet another collection of basic attacks, all of which has zero connection to the juror issues pending, okay? By addressing each misstatement and inaccuracy in the defendant's letter. Suffice it to say the defense is wrong. In lieu of point-by-point rebuke, however, the government offers the following. Okay, first, in straining to make out a supposed pattern of misconduct, the defense does nothing more than repackage specious accusations already squarely rejected by the court. Now, if you guys haven't been following the Diddy trial from the beginning, ma'am, Momo, thank you for being a member for 13 months, right? You said, love your journalism style. Thank you, Tisa. Now, if you guys haven't been following this from the beginning, Diddy's team has just been throwing shit out. Again, Brian still is running this like this is the Fulton County courthouse. And back then there was a lot of corruption in Fulton County. So it kind of did make sense. But now you have a judge and a prosecutor that is going by the book and you're still throwing out fire, fire, fire when there actually is no fire, right? And also, they've all bought these motions up early on before the trial even started, and all these motions were firmly rejected. They said, take the argument that there were material misrepresentations or omissions in search warrants. In this case, it's just one example. The court, in a thorough and detailed opinion, flatly rejected the defendant's claims. That was in April 18th of 2025. The same is true on the other issues of Diddy's attempts to relitigate, including the government's exercise of preemptory strikes, for which the court found there was zero evidence of a racial motive, okay? Diddy's allegations of leaks, which the court similarly found were unsupported, right? And the motions for mistrial, which the court has repeatedly denied. And even Diddy's motion for bail, which was rejected by 3 separate federal judges after lengthy hearings. The court should take the defendant's recycled arguments for what they are, a refusal to accept the well-supported decisions of this court and the insistence of casting aspirations without cause. Yes, they went in. They weren't done. There's a second thing. There is a second thing. Again, Diddy's team is floundering. Natasha, welcome to the family, girl. Diddy's team is floundering. But one of the reasons that Diddy's team is floundering is the fact that all these celebrities that were supposed to come to his defense, no one is showing up. Vonda Barton said Ye was approved to sit with the family in court. You'll be seeing him again. I hope so. He's going to be sitting there probably all next week, but guess what? Ye is going to be the only person. Lady D, thank you so much for the super chat. And also, Susan Colquitt said the tea spills down to the Southern District of Texas, y'all. T said, stay safe. I will. And Jalissa Banks, thank you for the super chat. Oh, you know what I do want to talk about? Let's talk about that Ye thing, right? Because I find it funny that if you guys don't know, there was All Hip Hop Canada, right? Hold on really quick, y'all. Hold on. So Remy. So I find it funny this, right? Last Thursday, the people in the know knew for a fact that Ye was out there, right? And he was planning to go into court on the last day Jane Doe testified. Now, Remy from All Hip Hop Canada broke the story. He has sources, they were deep. He was the one that broke the story, okay? Mark Agnifilio was in court last week waving his hands and flapping around. Your Honor, people have a right to speak. Your Honor, people have a right to speak. Your Honor. Also, I have Your Honor t-shirts and merch. Your Honor, people, merch. Your Honor, people have a right to speak because how else are victims going to come forward? And the judge is like, why would we let anybody testify about what happened in that hotel room in Vegas when it's not central to any of the claims? Whether you can prove that Jane Doe is lying or not really doesn't mean anything. Jody Johnson Strong said, I'm sure the jury was told they would have to watch it, but yeah, exactly. And Candy Ortiz said, keep giving us a tea, girl. You start my day every day. Thank you so much, Miss Ortiz. Also, we have Natasha said, finally, you are an official tattletale. Welcome to the family, mama. So listen, my whole point is this, right? Remy from All Hip Hop Canada, Drum Woman Medicine, thank you for the boots on the ground. Totally a fan right here. Thank y'all, guys. So, and also Pam Bassett said, Tisa, keep telling your truth. We are so proud of you. Thank you. And Luisa Armelijo, thank you so much for the super chat. Remy was the one that said Kanye was planning to come in on court Thursday. 100%. However, around that time, Jane Doe, they decided not to let him even come out in court because they thought it might be looked at as witness intimidation, even if he's sitting in the galley. They thought it might look like witness intimidation for Jane Doe. Okay, that was her last day of testimony. They thought they were going to blow it up. It was decided that Kanye couldn't come into the courthouse, but he was outside waiting. You guys weren't here. There was security outside. People were waiting outside. It doesn't happen unless he is boots on the ground, and it would have been the ultimate stunt queen. They said no, they couldn't go down and let him in. Emperor CZR, thank you so much for gifting a membership. What happened the next day? The next day, Kanye actually even came into the courtroom because Jane Doe wasn't there. But the thing is, they couldn't get his name added to the family list. So he went and he sat in the overflow room for like 20 minutes and then he got up and left. Y'all know, I saw him in the hall. I was trying to get an exclusive for y'all, but it didn't work out. But the whole point of the matter is he couldn't get in. Now you guys are saying, and I believe it's true, that he's finally got his name added to the family list, and he will be there to support Diddy, okay? House of Wild said, can't wait for my merch to get here. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for supporting, right? But here's my whole point, and let me just say this again. Diddy's and this promise that he has this long, loyal list, he has been abandoned by everybody, and rightfully so. Antigonia Hart said, I laughed at the Hogwarts book comment on Nancy Grace. I love your comedic timing. Will you be on her show for the remainder of the week? I believe I shall. I believe I shall, God willing. Judy Bradley said, love you, Tisa. Working so hard with so much bravery and with comedy, cute. Oh, thank you. You said the cutest little bumblebee. And West Rand Webb said, people defending Puff are the same people that believe in karma. Exactly. So here's the thing. Diddy's friends have abandoned him. Diddy's friends have abandoned him. How do we know this? Because Mark Agnifilo, when the judge pressed him to give an estimate on how long his defense was going to take, okay? He literally said 3 to 5 trial days. 3 to 5 trial days. Now, y'all heard right. Diddy's team this morning said that they expect to wrap up the defense within a week, which means that they could go into juror deliberations well before July 4th. So how does that signal to me that all of Diddy's celebrities' friends abandoned him? It's quite simple. Y'all are going to be done in a week because no one's coming down here to testify for you. Not one person is going to sit there and put their reputation, their integrity, and stand next to that bubonic plague of a PR thing to support Diddy. And what could they say? What they can kind of say? Diddy's whole argument has been, yeah, he did it, but they enjoyed it. That's been his whole argument. That's why they paid 23 minutes of Freakoff tape so far. We had to break for lunch. They made the jury sit through 23 minutes of Freakoff tapes. Now, it wasn't straight through. They kept saying, oh, let's show 5 minutes of this one, 6 minutes of this one, 2 minutes of this one. They said that when they come back, they got another hour. So they're going to make them probably watch an hour of Freakoff tapes, Freakoff tapes footage by the time it's done. Why are they doing that? Because Diddy's whole defense is they enjoyed it. So they're trying to show points on the tape where they can argue that she enjoyed it. The only problem is Cassie and Jane Doe have already admitted that they were high out of their minds when all this is happening. Of course they were looking like it, enjoy it. Are you insane? And not even that, maybe it's a generational thing, but that crap is not real. That crap is not real. Of course they're gonna look like they enjoying it. Bria Mani said, love you, Tisa, got me a mug for the tea. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Bree. Thank you, Miss Amani. And Dolores Ramirez said, girl, keep up the awesome report. I purchased your sweater last night. Thank you. Question, do you think Kanye's civil case mirrors Diddy? We're about to get into Kanye. Anyway, it shows that all of Diddy's celebrity friends have abandoned him because they are not going to come to court. And it looks like he has no witnesses at all. And what is his defense? He did it, but they loved it. And the fact that, hey, how you doing, mama? And the fact that people really believe that there are women that enjoy having trains run out of them by people that are hung by like elephants with no protection, with commercials. Do y'all hear yourselves? Do you hear yourselves? Get through that sentence and then listen to what you just said and then just let me think. Do you hear yourself? Anyway, Naomi Violet said, Tisa, do your thing, girl. We need you to have your own talk show. You crack me up. Diddy King and the Dirtbags. I ordered a hoodie, t-shirt, journal. You should add baseball caps to your collection. We'll definitely buy. I will add baseball caps. Thank you for that. I will. Also, Stacy Ballard said, you rock, T said, thank you so much for the super chat. And Naomi, thank you for the idea. I will add baseball caps. I'm waiting for my merch to come in now so I can start wearing up. Maya K, thank you so much for the super chat. And Leslie G said, keep doing, can't wait for my notebook. Oh, thank y'all so much for supporting, right? The whole thing is, people are saying that Diddy is the first to fall. That if Diddy goes down, a lot of icons are not just in hip hop, but in rock too. A lot of icons in the music industry are set to go down, and they're using Diddy as a test case. Okay? We're not just talking about rap. It's gonna spread to rock, might even spread to country. I don't know what goes on in the country, but I'm sure there's perverts everywhere. The whole point is a lot of these musical icons are going to go down. Now, why is Kanye sitting in the case for Diddy and showing his support? One, Kanye has turned, it's sad that somebody with so much talent has turned into nothing but a clout chaser that makes his wife walk across the screen naked because that's the only time he can get attention. It's sad, one. But two, think about it. Kanye has his own Diddy-like civil cases. He has his own Diddy-like civil cases. And you would think that if he has his own Diddy-like civil cases, Diddy at one time only had civil cases, and now Diddy has criminal. Maybe Kanye is trying to stop the dam because he heard the memo that if Diddy goes down, there might be criminal case filed against Kanye. Kanye has very Diddy-like cases into very dirty things, and all it takes is for Bianca to be like, no, I didn't want it, for him to go down. Or Bianca can be his Justine Maxwell. There is one case where one of the employees said that it was sexual harassment even working for them because Bianca would run around and be like, how do you feel about Hitler? How do you feel about Hitler? Exactly. She's on board with all his stuff, right? But also, Kanye called all his friends into the conference room at the Yeezy headquarters, and Bianca and her friends came in, and Bianca and her friends gave all of those guys sloppy toppies. Why? Kanye watched. Again, is it not? Is it not? Is it not? It sounds a lot like. Now, we'll see whether people consented. We'll see whether they were rugged out of their minds. Maybe it is just like a freaky party. But the whole point of the matter that everybody is missing is Kanye got his own Diddy-like cases, if you know what I'm saying. Alexia 138 said, it's harder to make an argument in the age of OF and other degeneracy women willingly participate in. I don't think so. I get your point, but I don't think so. There's some stuff that you're just like, women chose to sleep with escorts and get a train ran on them and not wear protection. And not get chronic testing. I just don't think so. I don't think so. I get what you're saying, but a lot of stuff you see on OnlyFans, a lot of stuff you see on Pornhub, you realize this is why Andrew Tate got locked up. A lot of those stuff, even though it looks like the women are willing, they have pimps that make them pay them their money. They have people in the background telling them what to do. Just like people thought OnlyFans was money, there are groups of men that now have women, like they are workers, but they don't get their own money. They don't get their own money. They get paid just like somebody on the corner would get paid when Pip gives you like $10 and you've been working all day. We need to stop thinking because we see it on TV and it looks like it's consensual that it is. I think Pornhub just got a huge suit when they found out that a lot of their hardcore stuff were sex trafficking victims or people that were underage sex trafficking. Yes. So when you see this type of stuff, you need to think, as a woman, would I willingly do this? And yeah, there might be some wackadoodle to be like, yes, I want to do it. But that many people? No, there is a whole dark industry, a sex trafficking industry, pushing it, driving it, getting that money. Look how much money was paid out on OnlyFans. Where are the women that have it? I'm not talking about a celebrity that has a page that they can show implied nudity. I mean the people doing hardcore things. How much of that money is actually getting to the people? Or is this just sex trafficking and the pimps are now putting their direct deposit on the money instead of people having to hand over the $20 bills they get for turning tricks? That's all I'm saying, right? Right? In any case, right? I think that Kanye is going to be there because he might be the next to go. And my sources are saying that Diddy is a trial thing. And if Diddy goes down, a lot of music greats. And I'm not just talking about hip hop. I'm not just talking about R&B because they try to act like that's the only fit with the industry. A lot of rock acts, country acts, the music industry that is into that depravity, baby, they are going down too. Val said, hey, Tisa, are we going to do transcripts? I have the transcripts. Do y'all want me to start reading the transcripts? I have them, but the transcripts are like 500 pages, but we can go through them if y'all want. I do have the transcripts. We can start going through them if we want, but maybe we'll do the transcripts when we do deliberations, because I think deliberation is going to be for like a few days. We can start going through the transcripts, but I have the transcripts if y'all want to see, but they are voluminous. They are a lot. They are a lot. We can refer to the transcripts too, but do y'all want to do that? Y'all gonna have to let me every night because the transcripts usually come out the day after. So the day after, I can pick up the transcripts for the day before, and we can go over them on YouTube if you guys want. I just didn't know if you guys want to actually sit through that, because the transcripts have, I'm giving you guys like a highlight reel, but the transcripts have that, all right? Listen, at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, everybody's trying to save themselves, but it's very, very interesting and very, very insightful that all these friends that Diddy has, all this defense Diddy said he was going to mount, Mark Agnifilo stood up there and said they are going to rest their trial in a week. That means at the end of this week, the middle of this week, the government's resting. We have Juneteenth as a holiday. We only have a half day on Friday. All next week, Diddy will submit, and by the week after that, they're expected to rest their case. And y'all really somehow really think that Diddy thinks he's getting off? There's not a person in the world that when you're going against the government, the prosecutors, that you would in any way, and I mean any way, just give 1 week of defense and think you got it. It boggles the mind that people still think that this man, I don't see Rico. That's what you see? I don't see this and that. No. At the end of the day, Diddy doesn't have any defense. He doesn't have anybody that will come and speak on his behalf. He doesn't have any way to push back on 90% of the assertions. So all you can do is make the government look like liars, rest your defense early, and hope you get out. Now, will Diddy testify? Who knows? Will he have Kanye sitting there all week? Why would you have Kanye sitting there? I guess you're trying to woo the jury. I guess you're trying to like starstruck the jury, but that's the best you can do. Mr. Wackadoodle in Chief. Rocky Mountain 100 said, Susan in Dallas, what's up? You said we need to bring Tisa to Texas. Absolutely love your coverage. Absolutely love your coverage. Thank you so much. I would love to come to Texas. Antigonia Hart said, I saw Kevin Hart joke at the BET Awards about not going to the after parties because they get slippery. And what we're learning a lot about people, the audience had stone faces. Diddy is the scarlet letter of celebs. Thank you so much, Antigonia. I agree with you. And I think that's what a lot of people don't get. Listen, so many people that are pro Diddy, they are either paid, they're not in a courtroom, or they're not paying attention, and they're listening to information sources that are deliberately spreading misinformation. Again, can I predict what's going to happen in the jury? There's a chance that it's going to be a hung jury, that they might get one person. There's always, if they come back with a non-guilty verdict, that is going to be jury nullification, but they won't. There's no way they can. They're even writing jury instructions right now. Again, the funny thing about what's happening in Diddy is when you get behind what the blogs are saying, and this is I'm not calling out anybody because, I'm a blogger too. I am independent media too. So I would never disparage independent media. I would never disparage mainstream media because mainstream media has a purpose too. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I have before in the past, but I've changed my ways. But honestly, I always recognize that mainstream media has a place too, right? I just wish they would just tell it like it is, right? But there are a lot of newscasters telling it like it is. My whole point of the matter of when it comes to Diddy is Diddy does not have the support that a lot of people have been led to realize he does because people are fine with the smoke and mirrors. Heather Michelle Joins said, you're my favorite. Been here with you since Cabo 5. Oh, thank you, Heather. That was such a sad thing what happened to Shanquilla. She never got justice. I'm thinking about, I have an idea. Natasha said, let's make Texas Tisa. Keep up the great work. Yes, let's do Texas. Oh, listen, Brendan Paul is not on the stand yet. I'm running back upstairs so I can get his testimony, and I want to see what Diddy has to do with that. Diddy actually was not even in the courtroom when Brendan Paul got his immunity. You think he's worried about that? Also, you guys, I am thinking about maybe starting like a true crime segment on my channel or a true crime channel that's devoted just to true crime and me investigating the case and maybe even getting people from the cases to come on a podcast or an interview to talk and investigate. If you guys are new to my channel, I actually do have a lot of investigative chops. Ask my regular family. I have a lot of my old school fam that I have a lot of investigative. Put a 1 in the comments if you think I should start a true crime channel or just have a pure investigative channel where I'm always covering some sort of court case and actually digging in, interviewing, seeing what doesn't make sense, seeing what doesn't work with the cold cases. Tina Marie said, remember the video Diddy auctioned a night with him? So yes, said go out Saturday, wake up Wednesday next to him, and the crowd looked nervous. I remember that. I remember that. You guys, let me know in the channels. Do you put a 1 in the comments? Even if you're watching this on playback, put a 1 in the comments if you think I should either start a true crime channel, or what I might do is start a true crime segment playlist on my channel that I maybe do once a week and really delve, investigate, get people on. We might be breaking cases, because we did break the Diddy case with Jonathan Oddie. We did break. Everybody said I was lying. Everybody said I was putting too much. Everybody said I made it up. I broke the Jonathan Oddie case, and guess what? The prosecution was sitting there talking about Jonathan Oddie. I was the first person that said that Diddy was going to be under a grand jury indictment. I was the first person to actually say that Diddy was going to be arrested. They said I was a liar. They said I was clout chasing. They said I was doing this. And now look at God's glory. Look, where's he at? Underneath that mug. Anyway, y'all. Yes. But again, okay, so I just wanted to make sure I was going in the right direction. I think I'm going to start it off as a segment, and if it does good, I'll spin it off, because you guys know I cover a lot. This week, I'm going to start showing some of my other content really quick. Let me just do this. Besides, buy merch, right? Hold on. Antigone Hart said, we are 10K viewers, but 2.8 likes. Hit the like button and support Karma's chief correspondent. I know that's right. Are you leaving? Okay, listen, I'll catch you up. So listen, make sure y'all tap the screen, get those likes in. It's about 10,000 of you guys watching. I am going to start true crime. And don't forget, this week, I'm going to get back into the funny gossip stuff too, just to lighten the mood, because Diddy is a mess, and cover some other cases. But yeah, y'all, listen, let me get back into the courtroom. Last thing. Some people said, why is Ali Carter not testifying? How come Little Rod didn't testify? How come all these people didn't testify? Listen, I don't know the actual reason, but my sources are telling me that the prosecution, because Diddy is trying to turn this into a circus, and they're trying to make the witnesses as like they're on trial. The prosecution said that if anybody even with Gene Dill, if anybody did a lot of press or did a lot of statements about what Diddy did, they made the strategic decision not to have them on the witness stand. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't mean they weren't telling the truth. It doesn't mean that the prosecution didn't have them on the witness list. It means the prosecution made a strategic decision not to use them. And I think that was actually pretty smart, because think about it. If you have them on the stand, Diddy's going to turn it into a spectacle and a circus and this and that and playing clips. And that's what he wants. He's a chaos demon. He wants the chaos. However, Gene Dill said what he said, and it's out there in the universe. Little Rod did what he did, and his lawsuit is out there in the universe. Ali Carter said what she said. So it's almost like the people have heard the testimony, but they haven't had, right? They've heard the testimony, but Diddy's team no longer has the chance to turn it into a circus. And get this, right? Get this. For people say, and the prosecution said, it doesn't mean they're not lying. It just means it's strategic. You have to be strategic, right? Chow Young Cat said, if you declare with your mouth, Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised them from the dead, you will be saved. I'm already saved, but thank you. Believe Jesus is Lord. All right. So anyway, listen. The whole point of the matter is, right? The whole point of the matter is, think about it. For everybody, hold on, y'all. For everybody that is actually saying that, that just proves they're lying. No, because you know who else can call them as witnesses? Diddy. Diddy can call Gene Dill, but he won't. He can call Gene Dill and literally rip his story apart, but he won't. Diddy can call Ali Carter, but he won't. Diddy can call Little Rod, but he won't. It's not the fact of whether the prosecution made a strategic decision not to call people, because it's like their testimony is already out in the ether. People have already heard and read about that. But the fact Diddy's not calling any of these people either. And one would think that if all these people were lying, Diddy would use this time to prove that these people are lying. Diddy would use this time to prove that these people are lying. He don't got nothing else to do. He spent literally 5 days trying to prove that Cassie is a hoe defense, to which I said, dummy, is that what you're doing? They're even now saying, oh, literally, that's his whole defense. That's your whole defense? Okay, right? My whole point of the matter is, Diddy's not calling these people either, right? Chaos Forever said, for the hand sanitizer after being in that courtroom. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Listen, again, the defense is resting early. They said it's not even going to be more than a week. Diddy don't got nobody on the side except Kanye. And what's Kanye going to testify to? What's Kanye going to testify to? Oh, that's right. They're trying to act like this is a lifestyle. Nola Capricorn said, just sending love and positive energy to my hardworking sis.